Feels good. All right, we learned some lessons Saturday night, and so hopefully we're going to come in this week and get better, because as you can see in the Big Ten, it's a tough night every match, and we got 2 more tough opponents this week and heading into a big road swing, so we got to dial it up a little bit, and hopefully we can learn a little bit from the Minnesota match. Minnesota played really well.
Did you feel like a little bit you were starting from scratch with your ball handling going into this year, just after losing some players who had been back there for quite a while?
Yep. I mean, just matches like, you know, or this coaching this team this year, it makes me appreciate players like Ani. I mean, those guys are so valuable that, you know, are such great passer, ball handlers. But you know, we're working hard at it and we're getting better at it. But we didn't ball handle real well against Minnesota.
Who are your best passers statistically?
They're all pretty even, but Kenzie by far is the best. Everybody else is pretty even. Depends on the night.
Is there an area during that match where you expected you to improve, but it would never happen?
I was shocked at Game 3 at how we responded after winning Game 2. You know, I only threw up in my mouth about 3 times watching the match, but on video. But I thought in Game 4 we would make a run and get into Game 5. Because, I mean, we did some nice things. We just weren't very consistent, and we didn't put any pressure on Minnesota.
Did you feel like some of the swings you were taking put enough pressure on Minnesota?
No, that's probably the key, is we were not attacking like we needed to. And again, that's ball handling. It's putting the ball in a situation where we can take a swing. And you know, when you give them easy balls, I mean, they've got some dynamic hitters that are hard to stop one-on-one. So you can't give them easy balls. They were giving us easy balls, but we weren't making them pay. They made us pay, and that was the difference in the 2 teams.
Did you talk about that with them at all during the match? About how even if you don't have a perfect set, you need to go after it?
Yeah, go watch a TV match, and maybe you can see it on the close-ups in the huddle. Yeah, to answer your question, yeah, attack mode. You gotta be in attack mode. That's how you pressure teams. I think you guys ought to interview Jalen. I think he might be happy he's still got a job, because I saw the Oklahoma defensive coordinator's gone after giving up a lot of points to Texas. So if somebody hits 280 on us, we're taking big notice on that, and you know, we got to take that personally.
What do you think about Minnesota when you scouted them going into that match? How they been?
They're playing at a really high level, but I thought we could play at as high level as they've been playing, and we have in spurts. So, but it's a long season. It's one match, and like I told the team, you got to have a short memory. And you got Indiana, who's, you know, beat Ohio State, went 5 in Michigan, and went 5 with Illinois. So, you know, they're on a rejuvenation kick right now. So it's going to be another tough match Wednesday.
How the players take it on Saturday?
I don't know. They were quiet, so I don't have no idea. You got girls. You know what they're thinking? Well, I said we'll find out this week. But you know, as I told them, we got punched pretty hard, and you know, we got to see how we respond.
What can you tell us about Penn State this year?
They're young. That's all I know. I haven't even looked at them. I mean, we're on Indiana right now, so we'll worry about them on Thursday. But if they're Penn State, they had the #1 recruiting class. They're starting a lot of freshmen, and so you know, they're very talented.
There's a new NCAA rule coming into play on October 15th regarding transfers. Athletes not having to notify coach. I don't know if you'll deal with that in the middle of the season. Most coaches probably won't. But what do you think of that rule change? How, if at all, will it change anything you do and how you guys go about it?
Yeah, it's a good question. In that, you know, I think I don't know how we'll deal with it. you know, and I don't know how many volleyball players in the middle of the season will start putting their names in. It'll be interesting. What I still don't have clarification on is if, say, somebody puts their name in, what do you do? Because you can't take their scholarship. So we're waiting for clarification on that. And so somebody could put their name in, shop around, see what they get, decide to stay, I guess. So I don't know what power the coaches or the athletic departments have. We haven't been told that, and hopefully we'll hear it before October 15th. But to me, that's, you know, just like what Scott's saying, if somebody wants to leave, great, get them out of here. And but we got to be able to use their scholarship, and that's in the past when players leave in the middle of the year, you can't use their scholarship till next year, and that's been tough because it puts all the power on the student athletes and gives you nothing against that. So same thing, you know, we want people that want to be here and love Nebraska, and you know, I don't know if Sipple's there, but he wrote that article he wrote with Ron Brown about loving Nebraska and loving the program. I mean, I gave that to my players. We're going to be talking about that a lot because I think that's what it's all about. You got to love this place. You got to love your team. You got to love your program. You got to love playing in the Big Ten. If you don't, it'll eat you up. And so I think that was a really, really powerful article that, at least for me, really hit me. And I'm going to be talking to our team about that.
So you start checking the database on October 15th?
Well, we'll have an account, and Kayla, you know, she's in charge of that. But I guess, I mean, I think they know, like they notify you, and I think we get a notification if one of our players does it. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, this is uncharted waters. But the transfer thing it's been wild, and it's getting wilder probably, as you can see with with football and of course basketball, so it's interesting.
John, how advantageous is it playing on Wednesday as opposed to Friday, Saturday? Just so you don't have to sit on the losses long, and you have that little bit of a gap to prepare for Wednesday.
I guess looking at it that way, but I would rather get in and train for 3 days and then play Friday, Saturday. I'm a big proponent for Wednesday, Saturday, but man, it's hard to train your team hard because you got 2 matches spread out. So that's always a juggling act. So I can go either way on it, but my inclination would be let's get in the gym and train and fix what we got to fix. But it's hard to do that when you get preparing for another match, in 2 days.
More questions? All right.
Okay, guys, thanks.
Stay put here. We'll start football players. Bring Alex Davis up front. All right, questions?
Alex, what was the most frustrating part of that game on Saturday?
I mean, obviously we really want to win. So I mean, just getting it together and just getting everybody to buy in, just stop and just get off the field. I mean, we as a defense want to get 3 and out, so it's always frustrating we can't do that.
How are you guys feeling physically? Wisconsin's a physical team. How do you guys feel today? How do you guys respond to practice?
We knew going into the game was going to be a physical game. I feel like everybody's pretty good though. Every game is really physical, honestly. But I feel like everybody, especially me, I feel good. I can speak for myself.
I mean, you feel like your guys' strength and conditioning this year with which Coach Ball has helped you guys in terms of your health and your injury stuff. Do you guys feel fresher this season based on the changes with the strength and conditioning and the practices?
Yeah. I mean, you could feel it from the beginning of the season to even to right now. The strength and conditioning this year was great, and I feel like you can see it on the field. I feel like everybody still feels explosive. It's just right now it's on like basically executing. That's the main thing right now.
How much do guys right now just feel the weight of needing a win? You know, stretching back to October of last year, the streak of just getting that gorilla off the back.
Like you said, we always want to get the win, but I think at this point right now we're just focusing on the fundamentals of really dialing in and doing what you're supposed to do, and it'll come.
How much do you feel like you guys are starting to turn the corner in that?
Every game, every practice, I feel like we're getting better and better. Like I said, it's small details that I feel like we need to fix, and I feel like it's going to happen. I mean, you can feel it in practice, you can feel it in the game. Every game, you see something that's improved. So
After a month, just a lot changed for you guys. Game getting canceled, quarterbacks getting hurt. That's complete. Does it feel like it's going to stabilize, and that maybe you guys can just go forward and not have to worry about who's in, who's out, who's hurt, who's not? Is it feeling more stable now in the last 5 or 6 days or so?
Definitely. I definitely feel like it feels a lot more stable. Like I said, I feel like it's mainly with us just the focus on doing the small things, and I feel like with that, like you said, everybody's healthy and stuff. That it's definitely gonna make the team feel more stable and everything.
Is there something that we can't see as outsiders that you would point to and say, this is a lot better than it was last year with the defense that you really see? I've really seen some market improvements in this particular thing.
It feels more like a family. I mean, that's the main thing. When you're out there, you got to be able to trust your brother to your right and left, and that's pretty much how it feels. And you can, in practice, you can feel it in just the atmosphere of the whole defense. You can feel it, and that's the main thing that you want.
How much do you guys work on specific third down situations, and has the number of reps increased as the season's gone on, kind of stayed the same?
We always focus on third down, and pretty much everything. We focus on every aspect of the first. Like, we have different periods, but yeah.
What do you know about Northwestern? Just kind of how they'll come at you guys on their offense.
Definitely they're passing the ball a lot more, especially with the running back being injured or whatever happened to. I can't remember, but they're definitely passing the ball a lot more. Appreciate it.
Have a couple players shortly, and then Adrian is probably going to be close on West Coast here.
Not right now, I don't know. Sam was. He got
Time you guys get back.
3 o'clock.
Just NFL on the radio.
Yeah, we'll see.
You have to write some you scream NFL.
Depending on what market. They scored 30 points for the first time in 36 games.
It's like 10. He was that way against State. He had a lot of receiving stuff.
They finally get good. That's what that is. James, sir. Yeah.
It's too dark.
Is he still in the paper? I watched travel to Ames, Iowa, and become a Big Ten indoor track. We're not going to get any better.
I was pretty sure.
I just brightened it up.
I didn't see it. They're in Marshall, yeah.
Yeah.
That Patriots Chiefs game.
Yes!
They flex that, or they He's still alive. Yeah, it was.
Test 1, 2.
You're done?
Continue with players. We'll verify up for a little bit.
What's the mindset going out to Northwestern for you guys?
Mindset is just keep fighting. We know how close we are. We know that the little things are definitely killing us, and that's why we're emphasizing in practice. And we know what we're capable of. We just got to go out and execute.
What kept you going?
Yeah, I think it's just been the way I've been raised, and just the way Coach Duval's had us is I knew I was down, and I knew that's something I didn't want to do. So I know I wasn't just gonna roll over. I was gonna fight and keep fighting until my opportunity came.
Did you feel like you kind of came on at camp, or was there a point where you thought, okay, I've positioned myself to be part of this?
I mean, I think my performance in camp definitely helped show the coaching staff that I'm able to do. I was just waiting for my opportunity at that point.
Much more of a sense do you guys have for who you are now than you did even a month ago?
I think through all the adversity we've faced so far, I think the big thing for this team was seeing if we were going to fight or not when we were down, and we knew last year that was the case. So I think right now it's good to see that we are fighting, and we know that we're going to compete no matter what the circumstances are.
Is there a heavy weight that's built, which is the losing streak, you know, stretching back to last year? I mean, can you guys feel that? Is that something that's tough to get rid of?
Yes and no. I mean, that's something we try not to focus on. We just look forward to the task we have this week, and that's accomplishing Northwestern.
What are your thoughts about Northwestern?
They're definitely a talented team, very disciplined. They're going to bring their A game like Wisconsin. They don't beat themselves, so that's just something that we're going to have to do, make sure we don't beat ourselves as well and bring our A game.
When you guys go out, you went out there 2 years ago, I assume, right?
Yes, sir.
Does it feel like a road game because there's always been so many more Nebraska fans at that stadium over the years?
Yeah, last year, I mean, not last year, but the last time I was there, there was definitely a lot more red than there was purple, so it essentially just kind of felt like a neutral home game in essence, so it's always good to see the fans traveling.
Your cornerback spot, do you feel like is that still, I mean, I know it's always an open competition, but does it feel maybe a little more unsettled still at this point with you guys rotating?
I think rotating is definitely helping us. I mean, we all get to stay a little more fresh, and each corner brings a little something different to the table, so it's good to have a good variety mix out there.
What do you bring? What do you say?
I like to think I bring tackling ability, the ability to come down and tackle. I missed one last week, and it kind of upsetting, but I like to take a little more pride in that.
Northwestern's a pretty small part of it. Does that kind of make it a good challenge for you guys going into that week, knowing they're throwing the ball a lot more? Right?
Yeah, definitely. And that excites the defense. It excites the secondary, especially from the game we had last week where it's just a lot of run. So now it's our time to the secondary's time to shine. And, we got to be the backbone of the defense and make sure that they don't have a good day throwing the ball.
I know you guys haven't gotten the results you wanted as a defense yet, but is there something you would point to and say, this is better than it was a year ago, where you've seen some marked improvement?
I think the biggest thing is just our attitude and how we approach everything. That's the biggest thing that I've seen a lot of improvement on.
What's been the biggest difference maybe with just the overall defensive game? What do you like? What stands out? How you guys are scheming against guys so far?
I think the big thing is we got a good relationship with our coaching staff. It's like, hey, we don't like doing this. They'll throw it at the game plan, or we might suggest something. They'll throw it in the game plan. So it's kind of a lot of open communication, and that's something I definitely like a lot.
You guys have more feedback this year?
Yeah, we get a lot more feedback, and it's not just like, this is what we're going to do, this is how it is. It's more of like, hey, do you like this? What are your thoughts on this? So it's a lot more open and things like that.
Was there an example for the Wisconsin plan or some maybe a player contributed, strategy or thought that you guys made?
Not that I can think of right now, but it definitely happens a lot.
Yes, for Eric?
Yep.
Just a reminder for people in the back, just to keep it quiet, especially when players are front.
They played Buffalo. They were just covering their bases. My dad's up at farmland on that part of Iowa. It's like some
Matt Barniak next up at the podium.
That's very
Questions?
When you watched it back from Saturday's game, how do you feel you did and the line as a whole?
Honestly, I think we did pretty well. But it was just the little things. Like for me, most of my penalties came from me taking one too many kicks, not having my eyes in the right spot. It was just those little things that became drive killers, and I mean, you just can't win with the amount of penalties that we had.
Do you guys think about the penalties a lot now, just because it's been such an issue the last few weeks?
No, we want to do our job the best we can. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty, but we're going to move on. We're going to keep fighting. I mean, when it's a penalty, you can't change it. It is what it is. Make the next play better.
How do you feel you guys just going back to that Michigan game where it was a really tough day? You've come back since then and rallied maybe?
I think we've just been doing what we've been taught, trusting our technique, and just really counting on our man to our left, man to our right. Just believing in ourselves, believing in our coaches, and believing in our teammates. And I think it's just we're on the right track to where we need to go.
When you today in practice, when you sense the spirit of things were?
Really the same as always. I mean, this group of guys, like, it's a great group of guys from really seniors to freshmen. Like, we've got the work ethic. Like, no matter what happens the day before, the week before, like, what's our main focus is that day, and we're going to give it everything we got, from just effort, technique. We're going to try to make it as perfect as we can.
When you got to see the number of yards you put up the last couple of weeks, and then with the penalties, I mean, is it frustrating? Is it encouraging? Is it both?
I mean, really, it's both. I mean, like, we're getting production, but we're shooting ourselves in the foot. I mean, we're driving the ball down, and then all of a sudden that big play's negated because I had a hold. I mean, it's frustrating. Like, no one wants that. Like, we want it to be perfect. We want to win games, plain and simple. But we just kept hurting ourselves in the end, to where everything that we got moving forward either got brought back or just was negated.
Does it take time to get used to new quarterback with Adrian Martinez this year?
I mean, really, Adrian, he's an amazing player. I mean, he's an 18-year-old kid that came in and took the reins of really a good Big Ten offense. I mean, the only difference is he's pretty mobile. I mean, he's definitely a switch up from a pocket passer, and it's a little more exciting, especially when he starts to scramble. Just trying to give him all the time in the world. I mean, like, he's a young quarterback, so I mean, we just got to give him as much time as he wants. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Is there something in particular you have to do as a lineman when you have a quarterback like that, where you know he could end up at any point on the field when he's trying to throw the ball?
For the most part, I mean, the easiest way to negate that is just give him a good pocket. I mean, if we open up windows, if we lock our guys down, and he can just sit there all day, then it makes our job a lot easier. If he does end up getting flushed out, then it's just try and get as close as you can to him and stop the nearest guy from getting close.
What's he like in the huddle?
Well, we don't really huddle, but on the sideline, I mean, for an 18-year-old, I mean, he's amazing. Like, he's a calm demeanor guy. He's never down on himself. He's always wanting to push it forward. I mean, he's going to be a fantastic player, and even better than what he is now.
Even with the number of veteran guys you have on offense, have you seen his leadership role change maybe since camp?
I'd say he's gotten a little more vocal since he's getting more comfortable around the guys and more comfortable with the offense. And I think he's also believing in himself more, because I mean, he's doing amazing things. I mean, it's just he's getting more comfortable. He's becoming more confident. And he's just turning into an all-around great leader, great person, and great player.
As a guy who still has a couple of years of eligibility left, can you allow yourself to look at the big picture at all, what you're trying to build over the next couple of years?
I mean, honestly, like, I see what we're going to be, and I know what we're going to be, but my main focus is now. I mean, I'm not really a guy that's going to be like, we'll get it next week, or we're going to get it tomorrow. Like, I want it now. Like, I want it now, and that's my main focus, is right here, right now.
You guys get a play against the defense all the time. I mean, how much steps
they've been growing week by week, day by day. I mean, they come off the ball harder, they strike harder. I mean, it's just every day they've been getting better and better, from our starters to our twos to our scout team guys. I mean, it's a team that's constantly growing, and it's really encouraging from all around. I mean, just like despite our record, people are still coming to work from the top down, and it's really encouraging.
Matt, have you got to look at Northwestern's defense, particularly their ends?
I haven't gotten too in depth with their scout. I know they're a little bit bigger on the DN side, so I'm still pretty basic on what I know about them.
They've given you guys some problems though in the past as to their front and what they do. I mean, what are some of the things that have jumped out just in your experience watching and playing against Northwestern? They come to work. I mean, they're a team that's not going to back down. They're a team that's going to fight with everything they got. And I mean, it's always respectable. I mean, I love games like that. I love going against teams that refuse to quit and will always fight.
Are there some young guys we don't know as much about who aren't starting on that O-line that you see, like, okay, they're starting to get it?
Yeah, I'd say there's a few guys. I mean, from like, I'd say Sichterman, my backup, he's grown a tremendous amount. I mean, he's always encouraging. Like, I mean, he constantly pushes me to be better and better. Christian, he's always been a solid technique guy. He's always, he's there. He's going to do what he can the best he can. And then John, he too is just. It's a sound group that's always going to be pushing each other, which is always something fun to have.
How is Will adjusted, and how you helped him along?
I think he's doing pretty well. I mean, he's getting used to guys being a little bit bigger than him now, especially with the twins, Carlos Khalil, Damian. I think he's getting used to kind of having a little bit of a weight disadvantage, especially since he's younger. But I think he's doing pretty well when he's standing on his own.
We may have a little break here. I mean, within reason, I'm not really concerned with. Okay. I heard
Like I'm now trying to decide.
Like 41. Like if they get 41.
Which is crazy. That was more. Make your day a little better.
Fired. The other Raiders announcer got fired because he was critical of Al Davis. So he's fired. He's a talk radio host as well, and I think he is critical on the show about the Davis getting fired. But they're moving to Vegas, so it's like, I think Musburger is a gambling guy now. ESPN. But they stuck him on like SEC Network. He was doing like FCS games versus like. He's like watching Muhammad Ali fight in his career. It's a bad fight. Just like put him for bad games. He always made references. There's some minutes in the desert that are interested on the final outcome of this play.
He's doing weird stuff like commenting on the game in the stands. That's how it be really about 10 years ago.
Oh boy, the quarterback Alabama. That's where you get right there.
This is why he's my quarterback.
He'll get all day.
Jesse Palmer's still I don't notice him, I guess.
He's doing something. And I've seen
we don't watch people in America that much. I'm sure he's still there.
wow.
Jesse Palmer in Nebraska. I think Joel Black's the best guy. He's going to get a couple NFL Sunday TV games. You know that, right? I don't know how many, but he's on the list to get a few. That's good. For CBS, I think, or Fox. I think it's Fox. He's Big Ten Network Fox. We got to do some Major League Baseball on Fox this year too. Like Saturday, Sunday night games for national team. We got to do Cubs game for national team.
Bring Adrian Martinez in.
All right, questions?
Peter, anything about film going back through that you learned about your game on Saturday?
I would say I probably left at least 10 completions on the field. Made a couple mistakes, obviously, but not as bad. I think I was, obviously a little hard on myself, but I think that's the way it needs to be.
Maybe
you sense a breakthrough? I mean, you just feel like you're right on the edge of breaking through with ball here?
I would say so. I would say so. Our team definitely has a little bit new energy to it. I feel like this past week we were really gelling well. It's definitely bound to happen soon, I believe. I feel good. We just need to keep preparing and keep believing in ourselves, regardless, just going each week knowing we can win this game.
So as far as like check downs and throwing the ball away, how far have you come in that area and how much more improvement do you want to see? Because sometimes I know a competitive guy, you don't want to throw it away. You want to try to find the play down the field.
Yeah, definitely. I could definitely do a better job of that. I think I've made some progress. I threw the ball a few times against Wisconsin. There was one time I tried throwing the ball away. I almost got it picked off. Definitely need some improvement in that area and knowing when to find the check down, knowing when to throw hot when a blitz is coming. I made a mistake on that against Wisconsin as well. Definitely room to improve there. I think that just comes with awareness and experience, as I progress.
How much more confidence do you have in the passing game? Because a lot of freshman quarterbacks look to run instead of to throw. Where's that confidence at right now?
I feel very confident in my throwing ability, and I think it really goes to my confidence in our receivers and our offensive line and the guys I have around me. I know they can make plays, and I know if I distribute the ball the way I should, we'll be successful offensively. I think we have all the tools to be a really good offense.
Where do you think you've grown the most as a quarterback this first handful of years?
That's a tough question. I'd probably say a little bit in my confidence. Knowing I can compete at this level and at a high level, I would say so myself. I think there's a little bit of uncertainty kind of going in for myself. Obviously, the coaches were confident in me. I think my teammates believed in me, but I needed to prove it to myself, and I believe I did that.
Is there a play where you said, all right, I'm up here?
I'd probably say that first touchdown against Colorado. I think that was something that I did in high school, something I knew I was capable of, and it was just me playing football. And I realized, I could do these things. I need to be a little bit smarter with some of the way I was running the ball a little bit, and obviously still need to fix some of my ball security issues that I'm having. But knowing that I can play at this level and do it well.
What's the line between making a play?
I think that just comes with being aware of the situation, with my surroundings on the field in general. Kind of as Coach Verdugo says, he never wants to take away my stinger, as a quarterback, as a playmaker, but just being smart. I caught myself doing a little too much on that one fumble there, and just knowing what to do in what situation.
This is kind of a little bit like you've just been asked, but you're 18 years old, starting quarterback in the Big Ten, and you didn't play last year. Given where you're sitting, is this where you thought you'd be? Are you ahead of where you thought you would be, behind where you thought you'd be, given all of that?
Well, given all that I've been through, I never doubted I think I'd get to this point. Obviously, with the surgery, it was a little bit of a tough path to this point, but once I got here, I knew the hard work would pay off, and with the coaches we have here and the guys I have around me, I knew what I was capable of, and I still don't think I've reached my capabilities. I don't think I'm anywhere near as good as I think I can be in the future.
With the knee, do you feel better than you did 3 weeks ago? Do you feel about the same? How's that?
Oh yeah, I feel much better. I think the knee brace is as much a precaution as anything else at this point.
With some of the penalties you guys have gone through, I guess, especially offensively, is there anything that you can point to that you can do differently, or is that just kind of a product of what's going on?
I think it's something we can improve on as a unit, on both sides of the ball in general. Just knowing we can't make mistakes like that, it'll really cost us. It could turn out from being, JD being at the 10 to sending up all the way to 45, like 2 downs later. So Little things like that can make a big difference, especially in the Big Ten when we play quality teams and just know we need to be as efficient as possible.
What is it, Marie's got more involved in the passing game this year? What is it that makes him a tough cover?
He's just an elusive, fast guy. I think we get some favorable matchups with a running back out in the receiver spot or the slot. And I think if you watch his get off, man, he looked like a receiver out there. He's just a very athletic person. He could really play football, and so we're not afraid to put him out there and have him run some routes.
Sat by him in the box. Did he? He's supposed to be the one that.
He'll insert himself in the history.
I'm sure he's already probably got it laid out, like he got him in the run.
Sure did. That said, Mike's wow. That was. I think we kept flying.
It'd be hard as a young guy.
Pretty bad in multiple.
It'd be hard as a young coach. I can't. That's my religious. Kind of like the soldier over here. Some of the other just gets back to whether the reception was. You saw that in 2002.
They won 17 to 14 over Southern Illinois. They're a loser.
South Dakota's good.
Played the Jackson and South Dakota. Those schools have money and resources.
Youngstown's got better recruiting, so
They do.
they could be like a transfer. North Dakota.
No one in the South. No one outside of like four schools. West side,
North Dakota State's had offers to like go to the MAC or even the Mountain West. He's a receiver.
I agree.
It's just funny watching like they're like
It's like the first road game you missed a long time. Andy, is there like a courtesy twist so he's not doing courtesy twist? Otherwise you'd have those pets.
Are you at the same hotel?
So I got it. Like downtown,
Oh, you're staying downtown?
Same block.
Downtown. The same line. Are they taking the train? Are they going to be good? quiet.
Okay, they were all up.
Well, the 11 a.m. kickoff kind of makes it tougher. Very early on Saturday. They leave on Sunday afternoon. Is Julie going out there?
Yeah, she's going to see her daughter.
Set up your own private interviews.
They got teacher break.
Costing your students a lot.
But you said you're a restaurant.
I mean,
Contract
I don't know why. There's other bars that showed up. You got it. There's a resident for 5 hours. He's 75 interviews to blast his quarterback. That mile here.
And then he goes up and like almost single-handed.
Not all the way over. It's just
I'm not even renting it. I'm not renting a car this year.
and I take all the insurance.
On a car.
Well, I don't know insurance guys you're paying for it. That's what I'm saying.
I know my personal insurance to cover.
Well, if you're ready to go. Did you see the Iowa trip for field goal? I was playing this.
Oh, the church play. They're like fine wine.
But do you know Missouri State's men's basketball? Oh, it's Dana Ford. They made the finals. Well, what it is.
No, like I did first. Yeah,
Questions for Coach?
Scott, after watching film, how close do you think you guys are right now?
Depends on what you're asking, how close we are to what. To winning?
Yeah.
We've been really close a bunch of times. We left a lot of stuff on the field offensively, particularly early on, because of little mistakes or penalties. Even defensively, there were some plays out there to be made. We just didn't make them. It doesn't take very many of those to turn it around. There's no question we got better this week. I think the attitude got better, the practice got better, and the performance was better. I was thrilled that we didn't have any of those dumb things, dumb penalties, selfish plays that contributed to it. It's just a matter of finding guys and getting guys that can make the one or two more plays that'll put us in position.
Scott, how has Adrian progressed since the start of the season to right now?
Well, you guys are seeing it. Yeah, that's his fourth start in a long time. He gets better every week. I think his pocket presence got better. I think he started to create both second halves the last 2 weeks. I thought he came out and ran, and other team had trouble tackling him. I'd like to see that start a little earlier in the game. He still had some freshman things the other day. A couple balls that if he'd have been in the right place with his eyes would have gotten us even more plays. We kind of got lucky that he didn't throw a couple picks. Wisconsin didn't catch him. So there's still some things like that happening, but kind of what I said after the game, he's going to be special. And we knew we'd have to live through some of that playing a freshman quarterback, and that hasn't really been what's hurt us. He's done enough for us to win, and I think he's just going to keep getting better.
Where are you at running back after the first two? After Zigbo and Washington.
Feel great about those two. The game Zigbo had 2 days ago, or 2 games ago. I think people probably got a glimpse of what we've been seeing a long time from Mo in that game and how explosive he can be. Wyatt Mazur is a guy we trust. I'm ready to put him in a game at any time. Mikael Wilbon's been practicing well and doing everything right, so if he gets called, I know he's going to be ready. That's plenty to get through the last half of the season here.
How have you seen Northwestern have to kind of change what they do with that injury? They Larkin, the running back, when he retired from football, I mean, they're not running the ball this year as much as they were before.
Yeah, first of all, you guys hear me say it. I got a ton of respect for Coach Fitzgerald. He's one of the good guys in this business. I feel terrible anytime somebody that loves to play the game has to hang it up. But we had a running back that's talented that had to do that earlier in the year. Larkin helped make them what they were. It's a shame that anybody has something like that happens that has to end a career early. It certainly changed him. I don't know how much of it in the last game was not having him and how much was playing Michigan State, who's really good against the run. But their rushing totals went way down, both attempts and yardage, and probably had as much to do with Michigan State as anything, but they found a way to get it done throwing, and I think time will tell how much their scheme's going to change based on not having him.
On the depth chart, you've got Wyatt and Miles Jones as in the slot behind JD this week. Are those, do you feel like you play those guys either in that spot or in the other?
Those guys are coming along for different reasons. Wyatt spent most of his time at running back, so getting him functional and knowing all the little nuances of what to do in the slot takes a while. Miles is a freshman. He's been really close, continues to get better and practice well, and he's getting close to being ready to get out there and have a chance to make plays. So both those guys can do it. I know Cade Warner can play all 3 spots for us if we need him in there. Todd Honus is a guy that's been practicing well for us and may eventually get some reps at that spot too.
Just going back to the running back, where does Jalen Bradley fit into that picture?
Right now, I suppose 5th.
You made a change at punter this week on the depth chart. What did you like about what Isaac Armstrong did in those 2 punts on Saturday?
Well, Isaac punted it where he was supposed to punt it. The first one was a moon shot. The other one landed 40-some yards downfield on the sideline. We had a punt return against Troy that they scored on that probably cost us the game. Another one against Michigan. We fell down on a punt against Purdue, and twice when the game was still competitive Saturday, we punted one right down the middle of the field, 35 yards. They returned it to the 50, and then shanked one out of bounds, and they got the ball on the 50. We're not good enough to survive those types of things. So as of now, Isaac has done well, and we're going to count on him to do what we're asking him to do.
Is there anything different with left footer?
Not really. The ball's going to be spinning the opposite direction. It's like you're in the southern hemisphere.
How would you rank JD and Stanley in terms of a duo in the Big Ten and maybe even nationally with those two guys?
Yeah, I don't want to speculate on where they stack up against anybody else. I just know I'm glad we have them. Those two are warriors. They're going to go battle. When we call those guys numbers, they make plays. They're where they're supposed to be. They're open. It's been amazing to me, both those guys, JD in particular. We had a lot of good scheme for him in the past game, and when we called his number, he made a play. And it's so encouraging to me. We got a freshman quarterback that's making plays. We got a freshman running back that's making plays. Jack Stoll had a touchdown. He's a sophomore. The other two guys behind him are young. Our two tackles are sophomores. JD's a sophomore. A lot of the pieces that we need are growing, improving, getting better, and from an offensive standpoint, we continue to improve, and I think the future is really bright.
Have you guys been talking more about what you want to do with Cameron Jurgens, and he's a guy who probably been in a bunch of different spots?
Yeah, I mentioned something to Kugler the other day about our plans for him. First of all, anybody that threw the shot put farther than I did, I have a special place in my heart for. Cam's a unique athlete. When we recruited him, we didn't know what he was for sure, whether he was a tight end or a defensive lineman or something else. After evaluating him for a while, he's as physical and as good a blocker about as we have on our football team. And I really think he's got a potential to be a really good player on the offensive line, either at center or guard. And I think he's bought into that and starting to try to put on good weight instead of losing weight. And he's another young player that I think has a chance to be really good around here.
What's he working at now? Is he already mixing in there?
He's doing both right now. We still may use him some this year at tight end, but in order to be ready down the road, I think it's important that he gets some looks at it and some meeting time. So he's a smart enough guy to know a bunch of things, and he's just an exceptional athlete, exceptionally explosive athlete, and I just think after watching him for a while that his body type fits that. I can't wait to see what he can do.
He embraced it though, and some guys don't want to make that move with the O-line if they're used to getting the ball thrown to him and stuff. Has he embraced that idea of doing this?
Yeah, I think he has. We have some young tight ends that right now he's behind, and not saying he couldn't catch them, but those guys are improving and playing well. I think he sees an opportunity at that spot. Ironically, my mother threw against her mother a bunch, so that relationship with them goes back a long way. And I just kind of look at him, see what he could become, and I'm hopeful that he could be what I think he can be.
You like the picture there with Will? I know Will Farniak is a guy that you like too. He's kind of redshirt this year. You like the picture of what your interior line might be in a couple years?
Yeah, Will's doing good things too. So the great thing, our offense, center and guard are kind of interchangeable. You see that with Tanner Farmer right now moving inside. When Cole was hurt, Bo Wilson's come in. I think he gave us a boost the other day. You have to know both if you're going to play one, and you certainly can never have too many.
So JD doesn't talk with us a whole lot. Can you just provide some insight? What's he like day to day in practice? He had some fire to him after the game.
Yeah, JD doesn't talk to us a whole lot either. It's funny with JD. Through spring, he was kind of hurt, and then through fall camp, he was a little tentative. Maybe wasn't our best practice player through fall camp. I started to get a little concerned because I'd heard so many good things about JD. About 2 weeks before the first game, I think it clicked for him with our offense, and he just completely changed and started being dominant on the practice field. And boy, he's been a playmaker for us. Like I said, every time we call his number, he seems to figure out a way to get it done. And we need a bunch more guys like him, but I've been so happy for him with the success that he's had.
Scott, I know you guys are in the throes of your season, but if you had a chance to talk to Chip Kelly, so you guys kind of sit in the same spot record-wise, is there any conversation between you two?
No, you know, Chip's kind of like me. I don't talk to him much. I text with Chip once in a while. I'm sure Chip had a lot of things to fix and a lot of changes to make and probably culture to fix and recruiting to fix. And, you know, he didn't all of a sudden not become a bad coach. I just got no doubt that he'll get that thing where he wants to get it. You know, the first time he got a head coaching job, he took over, and I got there 2 months later. We had a stacked team. We had some really good players in 2009 and won the Pac-12. But he took over a team that was largely built because of the good things that Mike Bellotti started at Oregon. We had a bunch of good players at almost every position. I don't think that's the situation that he walked into this time. So that it's more of a rebuild than a come in and capitalize on something that somebody else has already built. But Chip's a phenomenal coach. I have no doubt he'll get it done.
Does he text anything back to you about your situation here?
No, I think both of us are just in the bunker fighting the good fight and doing everything we possibly can. So when we come up for air, I'm sure one of us will reach out to the other.
Why has your offense and defense both struggled on third down, and how do you think you can change it?
Offensively, I think a lot of it is youth. We had some chances on third down the other day, and I've said this before, but you have to execute precisely to make plays work, even more so in the red zone, even more so on third down. We had some things that were there, and we didn't execute them. You know, defensively, again, we had a couple times where somebody was covering the guy that they threw to and just didn't cover him well enough. The big play was had a chance to sack their quarterback on a third down and didn't get him down and completed a 20-yard ball. And the margin for error is always thin, but on those plays when it really matters, it's even thinner. And the good thing is I didn't see any of the quarterback escaping and running plays because we were in the wrong rush lanes. I didn't see a bad penalty on third and long. Those things that really hurt our percentages too.
This will be the only time you guys play on grass all year. Do you guys grow the grass a little longer and try to practice outside more to get used to the surface?
Yeah, we took the pads off them today, and that's not something we always like to do, but we're pretty beat up. You know, not with major injuries, just the guys have been through a lot and a grind. The next 2 days we're going to be out on our grass, and we haven't mowed it since last Thursday. So we're going to try to get them ready for the environment they're going to be in.
You touched on it a little bit maybe on Saturday, but are you getting to the point where you're in inside linebacker or that one spot where you're saying?
Yeah, we're thin in a few places. Inside linebacker, definitely. You know, Honus getting hurt, Will Honus getting hurt breaks my heart because he cares so much. You know, Mo is a warrior. He's battling. He's grinding down a little bit. We got to get him back feeling good. Dedrick Young left the game the other day. That really leaves us with Colin Miller and Jacob Weinmaster. So we knew depth was going to be an issue at certain spots, and you never know where you're going to get a couple people nicked up. But we weren't super deep at that position to begin with, and got to do everything we can to get our guys healthy.
And that's just the fact of playing Wisconsin, or the cumulative effect of 5 games without a break?
Well, the Will Honus injury is just unfortunate. He just planted wrong on a play against Purdue. I think the other ones are just more cumulative effect of a bunch of hits and those guys having to shoulder a lot of tackles and a lot of reps.
Scott, with Adrian, do you compare what he's been doing? Does that remind you of anybody else that you see in that position, or is he doing things that are kind of unique to who he does?
I told you guys I'm always careful and make comparisons, but he's doing some things like quite a few of the special guys that I've been around. There's no way I would have been ready to do what he's doing right now as an 18-year-old. It says a lot about who he is as a person.
Travis Fisher said he doesn't particularly like to rotate corners, but do you like the competition maybe that is being fostered by playing Eric and Lauren and Cam on the outside?
Yeah, more depth would be great. More competition's great. When you got more good players, they got to fight their way onto the field. At times, Lamar's done some really good things. Eric Lee's done some good things. I thought Cam Taylor came in and broke on a ball and made a nice play, which we haven't seen enough of this year. Came up and made a nice hit. There's guys on defense that are young that I'm really excited about too, and he's one of them. So all those guys are going to have to play well this week. Northwestern does a really good job with their passing game, and you know, it's not too many more of those plays to get over the hump. It's just another guy breaking on a ball and breaking up a pass. It's a guy getting a sack and forcing a team to punt. It's not getting a penalty on offense and finishing a drive. We just need more guys to step up and make plays. We had a lot of chances the other day offensively, a lot of guys in position to make plays on defense and get us the ball back, and just didn't make them. So those guys are all going to get their chance this week.
Scott, do you think that the penalty thing, do you think teams, maybe not necessarily you in particular, but teams get a reputation and that lends itself to even more penalties? Or is it just a kind of a thing that you deserve everyone to get?
I'm not sure, and I'm never going to comment much on that other than we deserve a lot of the ones we got. We deserve the ones that were dumb decisions and selfish decisions. There was a few the other day we got, particularly on the offensive line. Our feet just weren't right. We didn't move our feet, and then when the guy's about to beat you, he's either going to beat you or you grab him. Getting better at those positions, getting better with technique will continue to help us with that. You know, I'm frustrated that we rank so low in penalties. And you know, going back running this offense, we've always been a little more penalized, probably because we run at such a pace. We run so many more plays. There's so much space. We've been good enough to overcome the ones we got. We've been getting too many, and we're nowhere near good enough to overcome it at the same rate.
Scott, Northwestern's quarterback, he's been starting to do well. What do you know of Clayton Thorson, and how do you evaluate this game?
He's fun to watch. He's a gamer and looks like somebody that's reliable, you can count on, makes plays when you need him. Don't know him personally, but he seems to embody what it means to be a student athlete. So you know, I love the program that Pat runs, and I'm sure his quarterback is a reflection of that.
You made a comment on your football show that you felt like there was a kind of a light around the program, a lightness around the program last week. Do you feel like you guys have stabilized after a really chaotic month of change and games getting canceled, quarterbacks getting hurt? Do you feel like there's a stability over the last 4 or 5 days?
Something's changed. It really changed after the Purdue game. Changed even more last week. I saw guys bonding together, having fun out there. Everybody kind of excited to go to battle. I think getting to that turning point where the team wasn't going to put up with any more of the culture killers, and we're going to become culture keepers and culture promoters. I see that happening. I see the guys excited that they're getting better. I see the guys excited that they're moving forward. Sometimes you got to lose a couple guys to get to that point. Sometimes you got to maybe bench a couple guys to get to that point. Whatever it takes for the guys to understand. But the thing that made them understand the most was losing, you know, really 3 games because of self-inflicted things. And yeah, the whole attitude of everybody around here, I feel like we finally turned the corner.